This is Radio Taiwan International.
Welcome to the news on Radio Taiwan International. I'm Phil Iskowski coming to you from Taipei, Taiwan. We begin with a look at the day's top stories for Thursday, September 25th. Water levels recede to 15% capacity at Matayan River Barrier Lake. President Lai vows deeper U.S. defense ties, meeting with Randall Schriver. And Taiwan business indexes improve. GDP growth may hit 5%. But first, today's top story. The water level at the Matayan River Barrier Lake has receded by 104 meters to 15% capacity following Super Typhoon Ragasa, as announced this Thursday by Hualien's Forestry and Nature Conservation Agency. While the agency has determined there is no immediate threat of flooding along the barrier lake created by earlier landslides, the red alert remains in effect and residents are urged to return to shelters at night. Hualien Branch Director Ching-te explained that drone footage was captured around 9 a.m. Thursday morning, which indicated that the lake's water level had dropped significantly. He added that the red alert would remain in effect until the area is deemed safe, subject to weather conditions, a comprehensive assessment of the remaining dam, water levels, and riverbed conditions. Taiwan Water Corporation President Li Tinglai announced that the water supply had been restored to 610 households, but that over 3,000 households in the affected area of Guangfu Township remain without water due to high water consumption and unstable water pressure. He added that 13 water supply stations have been established in the area and that residents in need of assistance can contact their village chiefs or call 1910. The Water Resource Agency stated that damage covering a 300-meter section of the Matayan River had been discovered as the water levels receded, and that 45 units have been dispatched for repairs. The agency notes that initial reconstruction should be completed within 2 weeks and comprehensive restoration work should be completed by April next year. President Lai Ching-te met on Thursday with Randall Schriver, chairman of the Institute for Indo-Pacific Security and former United States Assistant Secretary of Defense for Indo-Pacific Security Affairs. Lai said Taiwan will continue strengthening defense cooperation with the U.S. in the face of China's political and military pressure. Schriver is currently leading a delegation to Taiwan. Lai noted that the delegation includes members from the restructured Project 2049 Institute and former senior U.S. officials, reflecting stable and close Taiwan-U.S. security ties. He thanked the group for the long-term support of bilateral relations. The president said Taiwan is committed to enhancing self-defense, pursuing defense autonomy, and an asymmetric strategy through U.S. arms purchases and joint research and production. He pointed out that Taiwan's defense budget is set to reach 3.32% of GDP in 2025, with expectations of increasing to 5% before 2030. He also highlighted cooperation in cybersecurity, disinformation, and regional peace efforts. Schriver emphasized that while China continues to block Taiwan's meaningful participation at the United Nations, Taiwan has contributed regionally and globally through innovative engagement and humanitarian support. He voiced hope for deeper cooperation, timely U.S. arms deliveries, and progress in bilateral trade agreements. Schriver also expressed condolences for victims of the recent floodings disaster in Hualien and said the U.S. stands ready to assist. Taiwan's manufacturing, services, and construction industries all posted stronger business climate indicators in August, raising hopes among economists that the economy could grow as much as 5% this year. The Taiwan Institute of Economic Research on Thursday reported that its August 2025 Manufacturing Climate Index rose 1.79 points to 88.88, marking a second straight increase. The Services Index climbed 1.01 points to 88.64, while construction jumped 2.66 points to 97.41. Taiwan Institute of Economic Research Macroeconomics Forecasting Center Director San Ming-de said that with the United States tariff policy now largely priced in and the Taiwan dollar weakening in August, the shocks from trade and currency have eased in recent months. He added that China has also begun rolling out measures to address overcapacity and involution, boosting confidence among manufacturers. This, he said, could support the outlook for the next 4 months and into 2026. The Research Institute director Zhang Jieyi noted that artificial intelligence has performed better than expected, while both of the Directorate General of Budget, Accounting and Statistics and the Central Bank now forecast GDP growth of at least 4% this year. He added that the 10,000 NT dollars cash handout, around $329 to the public, will further stimulate domestic demand.
Everyone knows the 10,000 new Taiwan dollar cash payout is coming, and it should contribute about 0.4 to 0.5 percentage points to GDP growth. So this year's growth rate could very well challenge 5%.
Still, Chang cautioned that sector performance remains uneven. Traditional industries are relatively weaker, pressured by US tariffs, sluggish European demand, and low-priced Chinese dumping. While the government can provide short-term support, he stressed that in the longer run, companies must continue upgrading and transforming. Analysts explain why Taiwan was absent from US President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping's September 19th phone call.
United States President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping held a nearly 2-hour phone call on September 19th, focusing on trade and the TikTok agreement, with no mention of Taiwan. Analysts say the omission did not signal Taiwan's waning importance, but reflected the urgency of settling economic issues ahead of the IIPS summit. U.S.-Taiwan interactions have been relatively stable, leaving Beijing with little room to exploit, explained Danjiang University Graduate Institute of China Studies Director Zhang Wuyue. He said the call mainly paved the way for a Xi and Trump meeting at APEC. Zhang added that during Trump's second term, Washington has not played the, quote, Taiwan card, unquote, to provoke Beijing, such as arranging frequent high-level visits, granting high-profile stopovers for Taiwan's president, or upgrading military and security exchanges. The call extended the momentum of the Madrid trade talks, said National Ching-te University political science professor Wang Hongren, with both the leaders confirming progress made by their officials. He said it was unsurprising Taiwan was not mentioned. Wang also noted reports suggesting Washington may suspend certain military aid to Taiwan, speculating this could be a signal to reduce interference from Taiwan-related issues in U.S.-Taiwan negotiations. The New York Times quoted Steinman Center China Program Director Dr. Sun Yun as saying Beijing is willing to take concessions on TikTok to improve the atmosphere in bilateral ties. For Trump, advancing the deal amounts to a symbolic win, demonstrating his ability to handle China policy while appealing to younger voters. For Beijing, limited concessions could create more space for talks on tariffs, technology exports, and Taiwan. Still, despite the easing, analysts warn that structural contradictions remain. Whether the two sides can move beyond TikTok and make progress on tariffs, export controls, and Taiwan will be the focus in the months ahead. Joey Chow for RTI News.
Taiwan's Foreign Minister Lin Jialong will visit Poland next week to attend the Warsaw Security Forum and deliver a keynote speech on democratic supply chains, the Central News Agency reported Thursday. The annual forum, organized by the Kazimierz Pulaski Foundation, will take place September 29th to 30 in Warsaw. According to the event's official website, Lin is listed as a government representative and clearly identified as Taiwan's foreign minister. Lin will speak on the first day under the theme Reinvention of Global Democratic Supply Chain. The forum brings together the government officials, experts, and policymakers to discuss global security and political developments. In recent years, Taiwanese officials have been invited to attend the high-level gathering. Last year, Deputy Secretary General of the National Security Council, Lin Feifan, participated in the event and joined discussions with international military experts. The United States Customs and Border Protection issued a withhold release order on bicycle parts and accessories manufactured by Taiwanese company Giant Manufacturing Corporation on Wednesday local time. The Customs and Border Patrol said that the company was implicated in forced labor practices, including abuse of vulnerability, wage withholding, and excessive overtime. In a statement Thursday, Giant said The customs had never visited its factories or contacted the company in recent years and had issued the order based merely on suspicion, which it called very unfair. The company said it has filed a petition with the customs to have the order revoked while also activating contingency plans. Shares of Giant fell 8.95% in early trading Thursday, hitting their lowest level since 2010, despite the company stressing that the order only affects exports from Taiwan to the US, which account for about 4 to 5% of its revenue. Thanks for joining me for the news. I'm Phil Laskowski. Stay tuned for another 50 minutes of English language features brought to you by Radio Taiwan International.